Gotta get this thing right. Alright, what's up, my open-minded people? Today, I said already. Hopefully I don't say or eh one more time. Because I have a bad habit of saying when I'm making videos. I don't know why. I'll be like, this, that. Like, every single sentence that I do, I say So I'm not going to do that once in this video. But, so I'm making this video. Basically, you see, it's a bad habit. I did it again. No matter what, I'm always saying, this video is titled The Broom Closet. And so what the broom closet is you might hear about it a lot when it comes to different types of spirituality. Everybody knows coming out of the closet means, like, you know, it's a secret. You feel trapped somewhere, you want to tell somebody something, you have a problem releasing to people who you are, like, for example, homosexuals coming out of the closet and telling everybody who they are. That's one concept. Coming out the broom closet is another, like when it comes to people involved in, you say, Wicca, paganism, Santeria, things of that nature. When somebody's born into a family, mainstream United States, most of the time, we call it coming out of the broom closet, because you'll be born into like a family who doesn't really have a religion, or you'll be born into a family that's most likely Christian, because that's, of course, the main religion of this country is Christianity. And when you find your own path, you come to this dilemma where it's called coming out of the broom closet. And my personal experience of dealing with the broom closet, I never really actually quite came out of the broom closet. It was kind of like, it just kind of came naturally. Ever since I was little, I remember I had a amulet, an Egyptian ankh. Everybody knows it's like a circle with a cross on the bottom that the Egyptians had wore, and I wore one when I was younger. I believe I think it was my father had took it away from me. He told me it was a different religion. At the time, I didn't know. I just liked it. I wore it, you know. I also carried an idol of Anubis and Bast around with me when I was little. They're like, I don't even remember where I got them from. I just carried them. I was attracted to them. I was drawn towards them, but I was so young I didn't really understand what it was. I love studying ancient Egypt, and specifically I love studying the gods and the goddesses. It was an obsession. And like I said, I was young. I didn't really understand. I was born in a Christian family, so I thought this was all, you know, imaginary stuff. I didn't know that these were actual belief systems. I thought they were all ancient and gone. It was just real interesting, because ever since I was young, I was always interested in just generally paganism, there being more than one God, and all those different types of aspects. It wasn't until I got older and I started to find my own path after going through times and series of destructive behavior and whatnot. I started to realize that I needed to find a new form of spirituality. So I pretty much came across the La Santísima Muerte. Everybody knows the Santa Muerte story. I discovered her when I was around like 16. Started actually venerating her around like the age of 18. And then, you know, she done all these great things for me. Everybody knows the story. I probably explained it in like 4 or 5 other videos. But from La Santísima Muerte, I found the 7 African powers, which led me to the system of Santeria. And that's when it pretty much took the whole turn right there through Santeria, the veneration of the Orishas. The Santa Muerte was my coming out of the broom closet. I introduced her as a Catholic saint, and I was pretty much told, you know, it wasn't really, nobody really approved of it. I did it anyways, but I don't really think nobody actually knew what it really was, to the extent of what it was at the time in my household that I was living. A big part of me moving out of my home when I was 18 had a lot to do with that. I couldn't properly venerate La Santísima Muerte without complaining. There was candles being burnt overnight, which I can understand. Most people don't want candles burning overnight in their homes, but they're 7-day jar candles, so I mean, you know, not really likely a fire would start. Incense burning. I had to burn incense. That was an issue. And overall, it was an issue just because of the energy in the home it didn't really, La Santísima Muerte, she didn't like it, and I had to move out. So I came to a place where she was more accepted, living with my girlfriend. Her family took me in as long as as also they took the Santísima Muerte in, which helped me in my spirituality, helped me develop my spirituality and connect with this entity. By the time I was 19, I had benefited from so many of the things that La Santísima Muerte had to offer. I had my own car, I had my own place. So that's when I started venerating the Orisha. Nobody really knew about my spiritual system besides my girlfriend, her family, and my family. My official coming out of the broom closet, I would say, is when I made my Facebook. And the thing is, when I made my Facebook, I had no problem posting, everything that I believed in on there. And to this very day, everybody sees all these comments of things that I read, all my occult studies and whatnot. And I'm not ashamed. I'm not worried about where I'm going to go in the afterlife. That's up to God. That's up to La Santísima. That's up to the Orishas to pass judgment upon me and guide me in my life to make the right decisions. I'm not caught up in anybody else's system. Even though I'm open, even though I'm open to other people, I don't really hold back or refrain from any questions. It's a thing that I feel comfortable with, and because I know it's in me, and I'm not worried about anything else. My main concern is, like, I love it when people can be open, when people can feel free to express themselves. Me coming out of the broom closet wasn't really that much of an issue because I had to be independent anyways. I can't really live with a lot of people. There's a lot of energy. I work from my own safe zone. I connect spiritually, but for the most part, I've always had to be on my own. So me pretty much expressing this is my belief, hey, accept it or banish me, it was never an issue. But like I said, the whole world didn't really find out until Facebook. I already knew people who knew. I know who talks about me. I've heard things. I really don't care. It's who I am as a person. And I love and accept any other system just as much as expected love that I would get from anybody else. But to advise to anybody who may have a belief who's afraid to let it go, and this doesn't even have to be specifically religion, it can be anything. Be you and express who you are, because that's the most important thing, because I always had this rage of hiding who I really was, and sometimes I even feel like today it still manifests in different aspects of my personality where I'm afraid to voice my opinion on something or say how I really feel. You can't let that rage manifest in you. You got to be better. You got to be stronger. You got to be you, and that's the most important message of coming out of the broom closet for my specific example, or coming out of any closet that you may face in your life. I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a great day.